Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin. Hello and welcome to episode number 18 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is this: you need to teach in order to grow. Now, this is a concept that I've been learning and doing myself for quite some time now. And I was talking to my partner, Kerry, about this only because she's opening up a dropshipping store. Now, if you don't know what a dropshipping store is, that's okay, because I didn't know what it was until about 3 months earlier. And a dropshipping store is really when you set up a storefront and, she's setting up some t-shirts that she wants to sell online. She wants to set up some really cool prints as well. But all she needs to do is sell it, and the fulfillment process, the manufacturers actually ship it out to her customers for her. So the one thing that we're talking about is really the fastest way to accelerate her growth. And I proposed this situation out to her was, I said, if you want to increase the speed of this, the speed of execution, the speed of getting this out faster, if you want to know the ins and the outs of upgrading your dropshipping store and being better and becoming the expert, you need to start teaching this to other people, okay? And this was a concept that I learned from one of my mentors, and Tony Robbins actually told me this, not too long ago at Business Mastery. He was saying to me that if you want to grow and you want to accelerate your growing, you need to be able to teach others how to do what you're trying to do. Only because when you teach others, you really have to simplify the process. When you teach yourself, you can absorb the information and there's no leverage on yourself. But when you start to teach others, you have to think about multiple different ways of how you can convey the information. You need to simplify it for other people, which really allows you to understand that you've consolidated that information, okay? And so over the weekend, when I was having dinner with Kerry, I was sitting down and I was wondering, okay, well, she's stuck at certain bits of a dropshipping store, and I'm wondering, well, how can we accelerate her process? How can she get, number one, more leverage so that she takes more action? But number two, she starts to ask herself and starts becoming more resourceful. And the thing that I came up with, and I said, Kerry, you need to start sharing this information with people. And so the first thing that we planned out and mapped out is every day she's going to put a post inside these groups of teaching other people her journey so far. And this puts her on a pedestal. Now, the only thing that really, when you become on a pedestal, when you're put out there on a pedestal, is that you're going to grow very quickly, because now you've got more leverage to grow. You have to come up with the answers no matter what. You've got more skin in the game. And I think this can relate to you as the personal trainer who's out there, who wants to grow, but you don't have any leverage, right? You're out there, you should be putting out content. You know that, you should be getting more clients. You should be getting more customers. But the thing is, and the number one thing that I'm observing is that you're not teaching people enough. You're telling people what to do, right? As opposed to teaching them what to do, okay? And so when you become the teacher, things start to open up, opportunities start to open up, and you actually shift from being that person to becoming, sitting higher up on that pedestal. But also you have to accelerate your learning growth. You have to actually know your stuff now and know your craft. So this is one of those things of how you can become the expert authority very, very quickly, and actually how you can immerse yourself and become that authority, but also get some skin in the game so you develop skills quicker. Okay. So one of the things that I was talking about with Kerry is that she needs to go out there. She needs to start blogging about this. She needs to start putting herself, doing videos of how she's able to run through with this process. And so what's that going to happen? Well, that's going to allow more people to ask her more questions. And because she's put on this pedestal, she's actually going to have to dig in 10 times more, 15 times more, 20 times more. The times that when it gets really tough and hard, she's going to have to find the answers. And the one thing that I want you to learn today from this short podcast today is really how you can go out there and you can start educating people. And I know a lot of personal trainers do this, and a lot of personal trainers regurgitate it. But here's what I want you to do. Try to regurgitate the information in how you've processed it and how you can transfer it to your clients and prospects so that they can look up and ask you more questions. And the more questions they ask you in your particular niche, the more answers you're going to want to go out there to search for. The more things you're going to have to go, okay, well, what else do I need to know that my prospects will want to know? Then you become that information gatherer. And when you start teaching this stuff, not only are you reading more about this and you're reading and you're teaching, but this is the fastest way to learn. And this is how I'm actually learning and teaching you at this moment in time, because there's I kid you not, I go to bed listening with earphones in my head on Audible. I'll go to bed listening to guys like Russell Brunson, Tony Robbins, Jay Abraham, and whatever concepts that I really immerse myself in, I'll come up with a topic and I'll find a way on how I can serve you to become a better coach, and how I can show you more strategies to grow your business online, or how I can show you on how you can become the expert authority, okay? And this is all it takes, because what I've noticed is, if you haven't noticed, the people that consistently give out information are not only put up on a pedestal, but they actually learn and validate that learning curve for themselves as well. And the best thing that I've realized in teaching you and doing the podcast and writing a book and running a course is that I've actually consolidated my information, and I'm constantly trying to, now I've got some skin in the game that if anybody asks me for the questions, I know I've got the answers. And so this short podcast today is really for you to go out and go, okay, how can you start putting yourself out there on a pedestal to start teaching your clients and your prospects more? And I mean teaching them good information. I mean really teaching them some cutting edge stuff so that they're consistently asking, hey, you're my number one go-to guy now. What else do I need to know? And so this is really the key secrets to becoming that expert authority and really knowing your craft, because I talk to hundreds of trainers a day. I do get a lot of messages, right? And they want more clients. They want a better income. They want more freedom, more lifestyle. And here's the honest truth. In order to achieve those things, great, you need to understand how to market and sell. But if you're marketing and selling a product and you're not at cutting edge innovation and you're not consistently staying ahead of the trends and on top of the game, you're going to be buried very, very quickly by your competition. Okay. So I truly believe in, a concept called Kaizen, a Japanese concept called Kaizen, which constantly, says improving every day. If you can improve 1% or 2% every single day, you're going to stay ahead of your competition. So the one task that I want you to do today on this podcast episode is think about how you can learn anything that you're consuming now. Okay. Write it down into a piece of information that you can share with your prospects so that you can be put on a pedestal, so that now you've got more skin in the game, so that now you actually have to learn more, and you have to learn more and teach more and learn more and teach more and learn more and teach more, because in this level of learning and teaching, you then start to grow. Okay. And that's the biggest thing that I've realized. And this is the biggest thing that I can share with you. And I had to share this with you, on a Sunday night when I was recording this podcast. I had to share this with you even after 2 glasses of wine, because I really think that this is the key to being successful. This is the key to not only growing your own personal development, but growing your loyal, customers and fan base. Okay. But also, number one, it's putting you out on a pedestal so you've got so much more skin in the game. So if you can take away that concept, and that's a concept that not only I'm applying every single day, but I've also got my partner, Kara, to apply. And she's going to grow drastically because she's not going to come up with some low-level answers. She's teaching other people. So now no matter what, she has to come up with the answers. And I want you to do so inside your business and do so to your prospects as well. So inside your emailers, inside your Facebook group, on your Instagram account, anywhere where you can teach, okay, where you can learn about a particular information and teach it, fantastic. That's really what's going to do that. And I challenge you to do that for the next month and see how that brings in rewards, not only for yourself, not only for, getting more clients and making more money online, but actually in terms of your own growth and in terms of solidifying the information that you know inside your head. So go and implement that one strategy today and see how that completely changes the game for you and your business. And I will see you on the next episode. Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes, and feel free to leave a review. In that way, I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.